Columbia School Board is going back to the drawing board with some property tax numbers for a new hotel project. Good evening, I'm Tyler Emery.
And I'm Ethan Millers. This has to do with Columbia's downtown Broadway hotel looking to add a second tower. KOMU 8's Danielle Katz was at the school board meeting tonight and joins us live to explain the confusion. A mid-Missouri abortion lawsuit is headed to the Missouri Supreme Court. The Cole County Circuit Court initially ruled against a woman who said the state's law violated her religious freedom. She had an abortion in 2015 but had to wait 3 days, read a booklet, and view an ultrasound per Missouri law. She also had to sign a form that says, quote, "The life of each human being begins at conception," end quote. She doesn't believe that, however. She's a follower of the Satanic Temple. She took Cole County's decision to an appeals court which sided with her and ordered a transfer of the case to the state Supreme Court. In total, 4 people were shot in Columbia this weekend, shedding light on the increase of gun violence. 3 people were shot near Business Loop East. KOMU 8 News spoke with residents who live near Claudel Lane, and they say they're fed up and fearful.
Well, it was terrifying because, I mean, if they're shooting back there, who's to say a bullet won't come through a window? You know, my bedroom, my kitchen. I don't know where the shots are coming from because you never can tell. So it's like, I just panic.
More than a dozen crimes involving gunfire have occurred throughout Columbia in the past month. ESPN anchor Jameel Hill is suspended tonight for tweets about Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. The host said online that Jones put an unfair burden on his players by saying that anyone who doesn't stand during the national anthem will not play. The network suspended Hill for 2 weeks, and it's the second time her tweets have landed her in trouble at ESPN. Weeks ago, she called President Trump a white supremacist on Twitter. Another named storm is churning out in the Atlantic, adding to an already busy Atlantic hurricane season. Tropical storm Ophelia doesn't pose any threat to land, according to current forecasts, but it's another sign of how active this hurricane season has been in the Atlantic, the busiest since 2005. That's the year Hurricane Katrina hit. Coming up, the Trump administration is pulling out of a plan to limit coal emissions, the reasoning behind the move.
So much. One of the Senate's oldest members is pushing on.
How a bid for a re-election could mean a fight on the inside. That's next. New regulations from the CDC could change the way you vaccinate your child this flu season. The CDC now recommends children under the age of 8 receive 2 flu shots if they have not ever had a flu shot. The agency says the test should be administered at least 28 days apart for best results. Children under the age of 8 who have been vaccinated in previous years will not need a second shot. One infectious disease doctor says the second shot is important for children as their immune system develops.
Younger children do take time to build immunity to the fullest, and also that they are the ones who tend to get really sick when they get the flu. So usually we talk about children, but especially young children under 5 getting really sick when they get the flu as opposed to you or I getting a cold.
For the second straight year, the CDC does not recommend the flu must nasal spray as an alternative to a traditional shot. The agency says studies show the mist is not as effective. A cancer patient got a big surprise this weekend thanks to the Dream Foundation. The Missouri Cancer Associates teamed up with the Dream Foundation to take Jane Hyland to the Build-A-Bear headquarters in St. Louis. Hyland was diagnosed with esophagus cancer in March of 2016, and to cap off the weekend, the Cancer Associates filled their office with stuffed bears today when Hyland arrived for treatment. Hyland says she loves teddy bears so much because they help her and her family get through the tough times.
Yeah, they're there to help me to get through this. Whenever my sister's feeling sad, they comfort her.
Hyland has improved steadily over the last year of treatment and hopes to hit more Build-A-Bear stores in the future.
The Missouri Tigers take on their toughest challenge of the season this week.
Find out how Coach Odom is hoping to bounce back from the loss in Lexington after the break.
And that's it for sports.
Thanks, Ben. Coming up, competing for diversity locally.
The idea getting kids writing about differences. That's coming up next.
Now here's a look at what we're following on KOMU 8 News at 10. More details on the diversity book of competition for Columbia students.
You'll hear from Columbia Public Schools on how selected students will also be featured on TV. That's coming up.
Wet there, but we're back with warm temperatures in the 80s by the weekend.
All right, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.